All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let's see who we have. Jen, Meg, Tara, Tim. Oh, I like that name. Timothy Flanagan. That's a fun name
Timmy.
to say. Tara, Susan, Shane, welcome. Booker, that sounds fun. Carrie. I love names. I think they're so cool.
Except when you're trying to name your kid one. That's not fun.
Right? So everybody asks now, like, do you guys have names? Yep. And then they're like, awkward silence. I was like, no, I'm not telling you. Like, it's definitely not. No, I don't need nor want your feedback.
Will you at least tell us if the twins have alliteration in their name? Because I'm wildly curious.
They do not. I'm not. And my husband like wanted to name all the kids an S name because Stevie is my daughter. And I was like, I'm not also that family and I will not be doing that. So they will all have different names, different letters. Yes. I'm like more of like an individualistic person. Like you have your thing. So yeah. But I know like ahead of time, if we would have told people we were naming our daughter Stevie, people would have given us like crazy feedback. So, but she so fits her name, like she's like perfectly for her. So
they clearly don't appreciate Stevie Nicks enough is what I'm getting from that.
Yeah. I will say it. So Stevie Nicks' name is Stephanie. So everybody's like, oh, is it short for Stephanie? And I'm like, I would never name my kid Stephanie. But no offense to any Stephanie's. I'm
looking at the attendees real quick.
I'm totally okay with people named Stephanie. I just like, it's not a name for me. Like it just isn't. And it's so funny when we were testing out, trying to figure out her name. We were kind of like last minute scheduled C-section. So we were at home packing and my husband and I were in different rooms and we were just screaming names at each other to figure out which one sounded good when you like yelled it. And we're not yellers, but we're like, that sounds good. Let's do that one. It was so good. All right. It looks like everybody rolling on has kind of slowed down. So if we want to get started, let's jump in. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Absolutely. So first off, thank you everyone for coming. We're super excited to be able to present this social media series. And this is our Instagram part 1. In about 2 weeks time, we will have a part 2 to kind of follow up, see where we've landed, see what kind of questions have come in between the two. I'm here with obviously Brandy, owner and CEO of Universal Settlement. If you don't know her, you probably should at this point. And then I'm here with Allie and Megan from WFG. Allie is at My Home, their sort of marketing division, and she's going to be leading our seminar today.
I am. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And you are absolutely wonderful. And I say this every single meeting because I mean it. I work with a ton of different title companies from New York all the way over to Kansas and Missouri. And my Universal Group crew is not only my most efficient, they're the most communicative, they have the best follow-up ever. Especially even on my end, I can only imagine what going through a closing with them would be like. So if you haven't given them a try, please do because they are phenomenal. And then Caitlin is here to come alongside you with some of the things that we're talking about today and really get you guys to that next level when it comes to social media, online presence, and marketing. And she is phenomenal. We do collaborative meetings and come up with some ideas for agents. So if you are having any struggles or need any feedback, Caitlin and Brandy, they're phenomenal, hands down. Definitely reach out to them because they'll be able to help. But let's get started. We're going to talk today about Instagram. We're just going to go through the basics of Instagram, setting up an account, making sure that it's a complete account, and really kind of just getting to a place where we're I think this first one, we're just going to go about setting up an account, making sure that we have our security and privacy set up, making sure that we have the correct type of account. And then the next time we'll go through kind of the types of posts that we could potentially put together, what a complete post look like, and what type of posts should be in different areas. Because Instagram, although started as a picture-based platform, they have feed, they have highlights, they have stories, they have reels, they have guides. There's so much involved in Instagram and so many different pieces of it that it can get very overwhelming and confusing, but at the same time, it's also incredibly flexible to the things that you want to share on Instagram. So I'm going to share my phone today. Apologies for any apps that you maybe don't like, or anything you see on my profile that comes up that you might not like, or I don't know. I apologize, this is my personal account. So are you, what are you seeing right now?
It is your screen with the, yeah.
Okay, so right now you're seeing my daughter. Let's go to the Instagram app and get it ready to go. Okay, so this is an example of my Instagram account. This is my profile. This is my specific account and what it looks like. And I'm going to run through. Can you see my cursor or no?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to run through each little piece of my profile, but first and foremost, I want to talk to you, and I talked to you about this on the Facebook side. I want to talk to you about one, account security, and two, account privacy, because those are very, very important. So if you are new and you have never set up your account before, when you set up an account, it's going to walk you through the setup. You're going to automatically set up the default to be a personal account. It's going to default to personal, which you can then switch to professional. And as a real estate agent or a lender or whatever you are, as far as business-wise, I always suggest a professional dashboard. And what that does is when you're set up as a professional dashboard, it'll give you the opportunity to have this contact button. It'll also give you the opportunity to have this link. So this contact button will pull up my contact information. So it'll be like email, phone number. So those are things that I don't have to include in my bio here. But when you're setting it up, just go through the setup process of an account. And then what you'll do is in this upper right-hand corner here, there's this three little dashes. I always call it the hamburger button, and people get really confused. But if I click on the hamburger button and I go to settings and I go to account, once I'm like set up on like a personal account, if I want to switch my account type to a professional account, since I'm already a professional account, it actually, if I hit switch account type in blue, so switch account type right at the bottom, it's going to ask me if I want to switch to a business account or a personal account. Because right now I'm set as a creator account. So there's personal, which will automatically default when you create your account. And then there's business, and then there's creator. Most agents default to saying, I'm just going to create a business account. That makes the most sense. And I totally understand that thought process. The difference between a business account and a creator account is not a ton. So the business account, you can have somebody else manage from like a third-party posting app. So if you have a social media manager, or if you're wanting to post from like a Planoly or a Later, like a third-party posting app, the business account is the way to go. You have access to all of your stats, all of your data, and all of your analytics. And you have that contact button, you have the link and all of that stuff. The only thing you really don't have as a business account is access to trending sounds. So if you really want to express yourself on your platform and do some dances and leverage some of the trending sounds, you will be missing out on that with a business account. So I always suggest, if you really want to start doing reels and leveraging some trending sounds and use some of that fun stuff, I would always switch to a creator account. The only downfall of a creator account is you can't have that third-party company or third-party posting platform post for you. So that's kind of the choices, is like both are fine, but you're going to sacrifice on one end. Okay. And then once you switch to either, once you switch from a personal to a business or a creator, it's going to ask you to set up those additional opportunities. So your phone number, your email, your contact information, you're going to redo your bio. But the best part about the creator account is the fact that you have this professional dashboard where you can see the analytics of who's accessing your account, where they're coming from. You can look at the amount of accounts reached. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have not been super active on my Instagram in the last 13, 14 weeks because I've been pretty sick. I'm pregnant with twins, if you're new here. So I haven't really felt like posting it. But this is really great because you can look into, how many accounts have I reached? Where are they coming from? I have a lot of Phoenix and Scottsdale accounts reached just because I moved from there. I lived there for 13 years. So a lot of the people that I'm in contact with are still over there. It'll tell you the top countries. It'll tell you that my age ranges, women to men, which this is pretty common for me. But this is the analytics platform. And if you get really deep into posting on Instagram and leveraging Instagram for your, marketing strategy for your homes, your buyers, whatever it is, you can take these analytics. And I always say, if your analytics are really good, leverage them in your listing presentations. This is something that you could easily screenshot, put on a document, and take to your listing presentations. So people and sellers can see the amount of reach you're getting with the content you're posting, especially if it's local reach. So if I know that my top cities, and let's say I'm posting homes in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, my top cities are those spaces. I'm getting not only great followers that are following me, but also non-followers that are following me. I can show my engagement on my reels versus stories and why I'm posting more reels for people versus stories. Like it's really amazing the amount of analytics they have in here for a business profile. Okay. And you can always access that on your home screen. If I go to that professional dashboard, mind you, I'm the only one that can see that. If Meg or Brandy or Caitlin went to my profile, they can't see the professional dashboard button. Okay. So that's kind of set up as far as like just setting up your account. Okay. So I'm going to go back into this 3 bars because I want to touch on account security. I probably know 40, 50 people who have gotten their accounts taken from a hacker, and they were not big accounts. They were 500 people or less. And that's hard that stinks if you guys have been trying to build up your following and it's local and you're sharing all this content, because the likelihood of getting your account back is slim to none. I've only heard of one person ever getting their account back, and it took 3 months, and it took them paying for it. Mm-hmm. So, and there's nothing that Instagram can do. I wouldn't even try Instagram because they don't care. So I wonder what I have in my cart here. Interesting.
Allie, I just wanted to pop in. This is a very real problem, not just something you hear about in like those little articles you get, because you're subscribed to things, but as a local business, we just heard of this happening with Titan Hollow. They're a newer place out of, Bellefonte, and their social media accounts were actually hacked and stolen, and they have to start fresh. So this is something that's happening in our area in Central PA. So just be mindful of your security settings. Don't share your passwords. Don't do anything risky or stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I said, it's happening. It's not just happening to like large creator accounts, because most of the time your large creator accounts have that additional security. And the way to have that security is when you go into your settings. So hamburger button, okay, and then click settings. And then you're going to go to security. And this 2-factor authentication is the most important part. Okay. And essentially it's saying, I not only want a password to log in, but then I want a secondary approval for that login. So I'm going to set up, so right now I have a text message. They have to text my phone number, a login code for me to approve that somebody's initially trying to get into my account. If you use WhatsApp, or if you need an authentication app or something like that, you can do that. Honestly, for every account that I have, that 2-factor authentication is available on, I have it set up. So my Zoom account, literally anything, like I have a shop app, my Amazon account, my Google, like everything has 2-factor authentication, because I want to make sure that I'm approving access. And there are times where I get notification that somebody is trying to log into my account and they want approval. And I'm like, well, I didn't do that. So I know that there's fraud happening, but because I have that 2-factor authentication on, it's not happening to me, which is nice. And at this point, this is kind of the first line of defense, right? Well, it's the second line of defense. I guess your password's your first, and then this is the second. As these people get smarter and smarter, there's going to be additional opportunities for security. And because this one is a marketing platform for you, it's a business platform, and it's free, like you don't want to lose it. You're putting time and effort in here. You might be putting money in here. You don't want to lose it. So always have this stored. And you're like, a lot of people, and even I say this, I'm like, oh, it's such a pain in the butt to have this on, but it's more of a pain in the butt if you lose access. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. The other thing that I wanted to show you inside of settings is this privacy. Okay. I don't have a private account. I usually don't suggest people to have a private account unless like you're worried about sharing your kids and stuff like that. But in that case, I would say for your business account, make sure it's public, and then maybe have a private account for your family if you want that. But what I normally tell people inside of privacy is to go into posts, and then I have this turned on, so manually approved tags. And the reason I suggest that is if you have somebody who's tagging you in something and it might not be something you want to be tagged in, you can go in, you'll get notified that somebody tagged you in something, and then you have to manually approve of you being tagged in that post. Okay, so with a lot of bots going around on Instagram and stuff like that, I always have this on because you just never know what somebody's going to tag you in. And if you don't have this on, somebody tags you, it will show up in your profile in your tagged section. So it might not be something that you want to be tagged in. So I always have that manual approval of posts. So I go into privacy, posts, and then manually approve tags. So that way I know what I'm getting tagged in, I'm getting notification on it, and I can approve it or disapprove it. Sound good? Cool. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's go. So I covered count security, two-factor authentication, and privacy. We covered business or creator account on the professional dashboard, went through a little bit of the analytics. So let's talk a little bit about setup of this space right here, okay, your bio space. So this is really, really important because this space is the only searchable spot for your profile, okay? So this is my name. So this is my username or my handle. Sometimes people will call it. I have been Fierce Little Allie since the start of Instagram. And I refuse to change my name because it's like I refuse to change my phone number. I've had it for almost 20 years and I just refuse. So when I was in Arizona, I still had a Columbus, Ohio number. People were like, you should change your number. I'm like, no, I will never change my number. Sorry. But I also refuse to change my handle because I love it. I also created a handle for my daughter. So one day I hope that she thinks I'm cool. And she wants to be like me because she has a fierce little Stevie handle. Maybe one day when she's like 30. But so this is your handle or your username. Okay. This is searchable. Okay. So if somebody types in Fierce Little Allie, I will come up, or Fierce Little something, or if they type in Allie Flath, I still will come up because I have it in my title. Okay. So this is your username or handle. And then this here in bold is your title. Okay. I always suggest putting your first name, your last name, and then your title. So this is also a great spot for like any specialties. So let's say you are a realtor, but you specialize in first-time home buyers. Like this would be a great place to put that, or even in your bio down here would be a great place to put that too.
Or like an associate broker or something like that.
Exactly. Or if you have like the hard part about like putting in like certifications like certified, CNE or whatever it is, like the average consumer doesn't know what that means. So if we're going to put CNE, great, but nobody knows what CNA means unless you're putting it in your bio. But for me, that's just doubling up on the information that I don't necessarily need to double up on. Okay. They're going to give you the opportunity to choose your industry. So you would likely choose real estate or mortgage or whatever it is. They have title and development. So that's what I put in there. I could easily have put in like marketing, but because I put marketing here, but I still work in like title, underwriting, real estate stuff, I still want to also index for that space. So I'm covering my bases with having them both here. The best thing I can suggest to you is if you can not really have to double up on information, it'll allow you to have a very all-encompassing bio instead of just like real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. You'll be able to actually kind of leverage more keywords in this bio part right here, this longer bio part. So you're capturing more searchability. And when I say searchability, your millennials, your Gen Z, roughly about 40% of them are utilizing Instagram or TikTok for search versus Google. So this is really important because this is where they're going to find your information. Okay. So if you're putting in here realtor and then maybe your area, that's a really great way to index for, you know, state college real estate or state college realtor. Okay. Go Buckeyes. I think that's what you guys. Okay, so then in your bio, you're going to want to put in your bio what you do, where you do it, and how you help your ideal customer. And every time I talk to like a real estate agent, I shouldn't say every time, but most of the time when I talk to a real estate agent, they're like, well, everybody's my customer. The hard part about that is if everyone's your customer, nobody's your customer. So I like to help agents really kind of niche down in this space, because if you're talking to everybody, there's very few people who are like fully listening. But if you're talking about very specific topics that relate to somebody, then you're going to get more niche opportunities, more deeper discussion. So if I'm really focused on first-time homebuyers, I can put first-time homebuyers in my bio, and then they know that the content that I'm going to share down in my feed here is going to be more geared towards first-time homebuyers. If I work with investors, that's also a great space where they might be able to scroll down and understand that a lot of the content I'm sharing is going to be investor related. So I always say what you do, where you do it, and how you help your ideal client. So I help title agencies and real estate attorneys elevate their client experience through social tech and systems. And then I'm a My Home nerd. So my company is My Home. We call ourselves the nerds. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. And then I have a call to action. So click for resources. And then I have my link. Okay. But it's really, really important that you have very specific information in your bio. I wouldn't double it up. So if your name's Allie, so if your name is Allie Flath, I wouldn't put Allie Flath here and then Allie Flath here. It's you don't need it. You only need one of those spaces to help you index. So you're wasting keywords in my opinion. So have a title here and then, or a name here and then a title and actually what you do, and then who you are and who you help here. And then every single professional account allows you to have one link. Okay, I use Linktree. It's a third-party service, but it allows me to have one link that then moves to multiple links. I pay, I think, $9 a month. It's a professional one. There is, I think, a $6 a month one, and then there's a free one. You could start with the free one. There's also other third-party link opportunities like Milkshake, or there's a bunch of them. But this is essentially my bio. Let me see if I can pull up a realtor's platform in, let's see who might have a good one. Okay, so this is one of my old clients from Scottsdale in Phoenix. He states, so Luxury AZ is his handle. Okay, he states that he does Scottsdale, Phoenix real estate. The only thing I would suggest to him, like, he still has his name down here, but having Michael Fabro as right in front of Scottsdale Phoenix Real Estate is something that I would have him do, just because it's gonna, when people search for people in a specific area, this dark line, the Scottsdale Phoenix Real Estate line, actually comes up in bold and bigger, and then the other stuff comes up smaller. So I'd like for his name to index higher and just to kind of be more apparent, but he still has it in here. So he has Scottsdale Phoenix PV, he has a podcast, he buys, he sells, and he invests. He doesn't, I disagree with him on what he's done here as far as his email and his phone number, because he already has his contact information down here. I can text or call or even email him from this. These two pieces of information, the email and the phone number in the bio, are useless because you cannot click on those. Like if I'm trying to click on those right now. I know you can't tell that I'm doing that, but they're not clickable. This would be an opportunity for him to include a link, maybe to his website, to a home valuation page, to a home buyer download, to an investor portfolio, whatever that is, or maybe a link to his talk podcast, his real estate talk podcast would be great. So he's not optimizing this profile. So I'll message him. I messaged him last night, but so I'll message him later and tell him that he needs to fix his profile. But this is a great space. Like you can have a sentence, you can have bullet points, whatever it is, but this is where you're going to index for. So if I put in, hold on, Scottsdale, I want you guys to see this, Scottsdale Realtor, and I search, oh, and I can't spell. Don't mind me, I've had a lot of coffee. Don't judge me because I've had coffee and I'm pregnant. So when I search Scottsdale Realtor, like Cindy Metz has like the bomb spot, right? Because she's got Scottsdale Realtor for her handle. But do you see how the handle name is in bold and then the other stuff is under it kind of in lighter? So this is going to jump out at somebody first. So your handle is really, really important when you're choosing that handle. And then they're going to rank based on activity, based on, it like Scottsdale Realtor, like it's going to, she has Scottsdale Realtor in her actual name. So that's why she's indexing Scottsdale Realtor here, Realtor Scottsdale here, Scottsdale Realtor. Like it shows you that like if you are focused in one area or one larger area, you're going to index here if you have this in place. So let's see who wins in the State College Realtor. What do you guys think?
I know for a fact someone has like State College homes, so.
Let's see what we got. Okay, look at the opportunity though. Like you guys see how many came up on Scottsdale and how many are coming up on State College? There's essentially 4, but this one like doesn't even exist. That one has 1 post. She's doing all right. State College PA Realtor. Yeah. There's so much opportunity, guys. This is a great way. Like if you're trying to decide, so when you set up your account, if you just set up with like a random name, totally fine. If you want to do that first, just set up with a random name and then go in here and search these opportunities. What areas do you want to work in? Where do you want to specialize in? Do you want to be hyper local to a specific, general region? Totally fine. But this is a great way to kind of look and see if there's opportunity just solely based on your name, like your handle name and what you're putting in your bio. This is huge as far as opportunity because there's just not a lot of people in the space right now. So if you're focused on State College, this is awesome. Especially as those millennials and those Gen Zs start to become homeowners and they're searching here for State College Realtor, this is where you index. And then what they're going to do is they're going to go to these pages and they're going to see what you're posting. Okay, are they a legit company? Do they have a call to action? Are they posting really great things as far as like reels? Are they relevant in the space? Do they know what they're talking about? Not just do they have an account, right? So this is a huge opportunity and you can change your handle at any time. So you can change where Cindy Metz has that Scottsdale Realtor. She could change that if she wanted to. I would never suggest that. But she could change it if she really wanted to. So there's huge opportunity here. So I wouldn't like, if you're like, I really don't know what to name my handle, I wouldn't worry about it. Go in, do a little bit of research like I just did. and figure out which one makes the most sense, which helps you index higher, which helps gives you more opportunity and visibility. And if you need help, like contact Caitlin, contact me, contact anybody, and we'll help you come up with a really great one that makes sense for your specific area. The more hyper local that you can be and the more hyper targeted that you can be as far as your clients go in your bio, the better for you. You know what, let me pull up one more. Yes.
I also wanted to do a shout out. This is a great opportunity if you have a handle that does really well somewhere else. It's not a bad idea to use that handle consistently across the platforms.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes it easier to grab your audience from one platform and transition them to another if you need to, and just keep it up to date. But it's always a balancing act, trying to find what works best for each platform and then what works best for you overall.
Exactly. 100%. So this is another agent who works in Scottsdale, and she was one of the ones that was indexing for Scottsdale Realtor. She's also extremely active on social media. But I love her platform because it's not just real estate. She's showing activity, she's showing lifestyle. It's really easy to show lifestyle in Scottsdale. It's beautiful. She is huge into golf. So she has like her thing is T's and Keys, that she has like this golf lifestyle, and she helps with people find golf communities and all that stuff. She's tied her real estate business to golf course communities, which is huge there. You know, and all of these wonderful things. She's got a great profile and platform to look at. But she indexes for Scottsdale Realtor, and then she would also index for like Realtor golf course type stuff too. And that's her focus. And then she also has her little link down here that you can click on, and it'll take you right to her website, which is very specific to golf in Scottsdale. Okay. Any questions? Where are we at? Do we have any questions? Okay. Oh, Mandy's got a question. She raised her hand. Let's see where Mandy's at. I'm gonna allow you to talk, Mandy. What's up, girl?
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I couldn't get my chat button to work.
That's okay.
Can you index for more than one area? Like I'm not on Instagram very often, so I'm trying to learn it, but you know, you're saying their handle, like, I don't know, do you ever have any agents who might have multiple different accounts, or, you know, how do I target? Because I serve a couple different counties, and so I'm trying to think of my situation and how that would make sense for me.
Yeah. So you can put those different counties that you serve in your bio here, but another way to also index at least your search or your posts is to make sure whatever you're posting has a location tag on it. So if I'm posting, let me see if I can find one that makes sense. I took, so the ones with my kiddo, like if you see this is my kiddo, and I have Chandler, Arizona. So for real estate agents, you're going to post. So do you see this location tag right under my name?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where you can index for stuff like that. So your posts can still index. Obviously your hashtags still index as well. But if you're taking up too much room in your actual bio just by posting all the different areas that you're looking for, I would just post kind of one general area, maybe like Eastern PA, but then make sure all of your posts have location tags, which I would make them more specific than Chandler, Arizona. The only reason I made mine Chandler, Arizona is because it's a very large city. I don't want people stalking my family and knowing exactly where I live. Okay, so I could get more specific in that space. Like I could have said the community that we lived in Chandler was Sienna. So I could literally tag Sienna, like Sienna neighborhood, Chandler, Arizona. I don't want to do that with stuff with her on it. So I did more generic, but if you're posting for real estate stuff and you want to become, like you're talking about a specific area, or you're talking about, new developments or whatever, the more hyper local that you can get inside of your location tags, it will help you. And the reason I say that is like, if I'm indexing, like let's say I put a location tag for Sienna neighborhood, that not only indexes for that specific neighborhood, but it also indexes for Chandler, Arizona. It also indexes for Arizona as a whole. So I'm indexing for 3 different places.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're like, let's say you're talking about a restaurant, if you tag that restaurant as your location, not only are you indexing for that restaurant, you're indexing for the city that restaurant is in, and then you're also indexing for the state that that restaurant is in as well. So it helps with location. And then
Great.
your hashtags, we'll get into hashtags next time, but as far as hashtags go, let me see if I can find some good ones here. So Chandler AZ. So you see how I hashtag Chandler AZ? It's very generic.
Yes.
You can get more specific in your hashtags. So like if somebody is searching for State College Realtor, that would be a really great hashtag. But like if you're trying to index for a specific city or county or whatever it is, you can also hashtag those specific things. And hashtags don't help with like getting your post more reach. I always call it like, and some of the younger people on the call will not know what like the Dewey Decimal System or the card catalog is at the library, but it's kind of like that, but online for real estate, where it's just telling Instagram, hey, this is the relevant hashtags that make sense for my post. Okay. So those are a couple of ways to kind of increase your exposure on like leveraging your post for location versus having to put it all in here. I would focus on, if you can, more like what you do and who you help versus area if you can, and then really focus on your areas and specific information in your locations and your hashtags in your posts. So you're indexing for those. And that's
Okay, awesome.
Super conscious when you're posting of making sure you have a complete post.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? You good? Cool. Okay, so I think we're good at this point. Next time we're going to go through the basics of posting. So what to post, how to post, how to do a story, what's a story versus a highlight versus just a static post with a picture versus a long form video versus a short form video versus a guide. It sounds super confusing. I promise you we'll simplify it as much as possible so that way you know exactly how to leverage Instagram in the way that you want to. The best part about it is you don't have to utilize every feature. You just have to utilize the features that make sense for your goals on the platform. So we'll get into that next time. If you have any questions on setting up your bio, making sure it's complete, if you completely spaced on, listening during this call, contact Caitlin. I'll have the recording for you. But she can also help you get to that place where your bio is incredibly specific, it's optimized, and you're ready to go and you're ready to start posting. If you already have an account and you just want us to take a look to make sure it's optimized, send it our way too. Anything else, Caitlin or Brandy? You good?
No, thank you so much, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Happy Instagramming.
Yes.